Hello there, you're very welcome to Waterford at 8, brought to you by WLRFM. A very special edition, the first of 2003. A very happy new year to you and hope you had a brilliant New Year's Eve. I'm Liz Reddy.
And I'm Ray Scott. And we're here at the Waterford Crystal Visitor Centre. And over the next hour or so, Liz and I will be looking back on some of the highlights of 2002 in local news, in sport and in many of the events that made the news in the past year.
Very exciting programme ahead and also a chance to win a fabulous prize. It's a Vitality Day at Sam Macaulay's Health and Beauty Spa in Waterford City. But first, Gabrielle Cummins takes a look at the news stories that made the headlines last year.
January and a new year brings with it lots of changes, and 2002 is best remembered for the euro changeover as we all struggled to get used to our new currency. However, a strong pre-changeover marketing campaign ensured that the transition to euro was a relatively smooth one. The Taoiseach Mary Harney also visited Waterford this month to officially launch the city's 10-year plan, devised by the Task Force Strategy Waterford. And as most of us began the new year celebrating into the early hours of January 1st, there was a celebration of a different kind for new mother Sinead, as she gave birth to Waterford Regional Hospital's first-born baby of 2002, baby Dylan McLaughlin. Oh yes, January also saw Waterford at 8 broadcast its 100th programme. On to February, and student nurses staged a protest at Waterford Regional Hospital in pursuit of their claim for a meal allowance. The Civil Defence hosted an awareness day to show the public the many services provided by the organisation, and Sir Bob Geldof visited Waterford to present prizes to the winners of the WLRFM Waterford Crystal Arts and Entertainment Awards. Local playwright Jim Nolan scooped the overall accolade, while local businessman Vince Power was honoured with the Lifetime Achievement Award for his contribution to the entertainment business. And some people will do anything for a bribe. After a little persuasion, these local people sang happy second birthday to Waterford at 8.
Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday WLR, Waterford at 8, happy birthday to you. There you go, thank you very much.
Next, it's to March, and just over 44% of Waterford people came out and voted on the abortion referendum, with the final result showing a majority no vote of 50.64%. This month also saw the Taoiseach pay a memorable visit to the Déise. As Bertie Ahern arrived at Waterford Institute of Technology, his car was met by thousands of local people, all urging support for a radiotherapy unit to be located at Waterford Regional Hospital. Despite the huge turnout, the Taoiseach remained tight-lipped on the issue. Staying with politics, and the North's First Minister at the time, David Trimble, was also in Waterford that same week. Mr Trimble was honoured with a Peace and Justice Award from St Angela's Secondary School. March also means the St Patrick's Day Parade, and 2002 turned out to be a rather wet affair. But despite the rain, a large crowd gathered on the quay to soak up the atmosphere and catch a glimpse of some of the many creative floats on display. April brought with it two protests. Over 100 taxis staged a 2-hour protest over what they saw as the City Council's failure to provide adequate taxi ranks in the city centre. Meanwhile, salmon fishermen protested at Passages, County Waterford, to show their disapproval of new government regulations. On a lighter note, Waterford's Tony Award-winning actress Anna Manahan was bestowed with the city's highest honour this month, the Freedom of the City. A large crowd of Anna's family and friends attended the special ceremony at City Hall. And we mustn't forget Beth Condon, who was crowned Waterford's Rose of Tralee. On to May, and local support to highlight the need for a radiotherapy unit in Waterford continued as over 1,000 people attended a rally on John Orbit Square. Everyone wondered what Waterford's 4 newly elected Dáil deputies would do about this issue. Locals chose Fianna Fáil's Martin Cullen and Dolly Wilkinson, Labour's Brian O'Shea and Fine Gael's John Deasy as their new representatives in the Dáil. In the county this month, Liz Moore got to unveil the town's much talked about Millennium Project. a fabulous new park for the people located in the centre of the town. And following on from their highly successful inaugural show last year, the really youthful theatre group presented Fame at the Forum this month and was a huge hit with audiences. 6 months into 2002 and Waterford gets a minister. Fianna Fáil Deputy Martin Cullen was assigned his new senior ministerial post as Minister for the Environment. Local supporters gathered to join in Minister Cullen's homecoming celebrations at the Granville Hotel.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Strange days indeed.
June also saw Progressive Democrat City Councillor Oliver Cleary elected as Waterford City Mayor and Lola O'Sullivan elected as County Mayor. Phase 1 of a 3-part redevelopment at the People's Park was also unveiled in June. The transformation cost €1.2 million. Moving on to July, 2 local representatives were elected to the Senate this month, Fine Gael's Maurice Cummins and Fianna Fáil's Brendan Keneally. The introduction of a new traffic system in Waterford city centre initially wreaked havoc on motorists and pedestrians alike, but after a few small adjustments, locals soon got used to the new system. Also in July, hundreds of Waterford Crystal employees, past and present, gathered in Dungarvan to celebrate the plan's 30 years in existence. A special exhibition of photographs went on display to mark the occasion. And staying with exhibitions, the fantastic Artist in Glass exhibition also opened in Waterford City this month. August began with junior doctors resuming their strike action over pay at Waterford Regional Hospital. The start of August also saw the opening of the long-awaited Waterford and Shore Valley Railway, and as expected has proven to be a popular tourist attraction. But it's fair to say that when most Waterford people think of August, they think of the Spree Street Festival, and don't worry, we will have the full party feature from that popular event a little later on in the programme. But here are some highlights from 2 other festivals which took place this month, the Crack at Kilmac and the Bluegrass Festival in Dunmore East.
You're my sweet blue-eyed darling, and my love belongs to you. All I ask for, you're my darling, love me, good and be true. Days come and go, and I still love you. Though I need your smiling face, please tell me, love.
In September, Taoiseach Mary Harney made another visit to Waterford, this time to open a new IDA regional office and to announce 125 jobs at the AOL call centre. Waterford's 44th International Festival of Light Opera opened at the Theatre Royal. The event was a huge success, with the theatre packed to capacity on most nights of the 2-week run. And the novel idea of pigs proved very popular as a fringe event of the festival. The festival awards night took place on the last day of September, and there was a local win in the form of Brian Flynn, who directed a Dublin production of Jesus Christ Superstar, which included a number of local actors in the cast.
If we go too far.
October saw Waterford vote yes to Nice on a majority of 64 to 36%. There was a new twinning for the city, this time with Newfoundland, and the official ceremony took place at City Hall. And On Board Planola gave the green light to the long-awaited city bypass. This month also saw the Waterford Council of Trade Unions lead thousands of workers in a march through Waterford City in protest of statutory redundancy packages. And the top 4 designs chosen from an international design competition aimed at transforming the North Quays in the city went on display at Waterford Institute of Technology. Next, it's November and the penalty point system for motorists was introduced. Gardaí were pleased with its relatively smooth implementation. This month also saw former Northern Ireland Secretary Mo Mowlam visit Waterford. She was guest of honour at the Waterford Chamber of Commerce annual dinner. Students also staged a protest this month through the streets of Waterford over the government's proposals to reintroduce college fees. And a large crowd gathered on John Roberts Square to see the Mayor of Waterford City, Oliver Cleary, switch on to the festive season. December, and there was bad news for a number of business sectors. The South East Regional Airport in Waterford faced operational crisis after Euro-Celtic Airlines announced that they were to withdraw services from Waterford. Elsewhere, hundreds of fishermen from around the South East turned out on the quays in Dunmore East to protest at proposed cuts in fish quotas. The fishermen said that if their needs were not met, then these new proposals would mark the end of the Irish fishing industry. But December also brought cheer to thousands of children as they went along to the annual Waterford Pantomime at the Theatre Royal. Despite the unlikely title for a panto, Frankenstein, this panto thrilled the young audiences.
Thanks for that look back at local news, Gabrielle. Now, the world of local sport was also dominated with some very memorable stories, not least, of course, Waterford being crowned Munster Senior Hurling Champions for the first time in 39 years. We'll see more of that later, but let's look back first at some of the other events that made the news in the sporting circles in 2002. It's been another great year for sport in Waterford, and as always, awards dominated the early months of 2002. The Park Hotel Supreme Sports Star was announced in January, with Paul Flynn picking up the top honour in what is now one of the longest running awards in Irish sport. In March, the annual WLRFM Lawlers Hotel GA Awards dinner took place in Dungarvan, and the Taoiseach was on hand to present the overall award to Billy O'Sullivan of Ballygunner, while the Lifetime Achievement Award went to Ned Power. It proved to be a fantastic season for Waterford Crystal. Under the guidance of coach Michael Evans, the team turned at Christmas on top of the ESB Super League, and they continued this form throughout the early part of the year to land their first national senior title. It hasn't been plain sailing in the early stages of this season, but here's hoping they can get things moving before long. For Bosch and Laum Wildcats, the season was a difficult one. A new coach and a new style of play took time to have the desired effect, but the team battled hard all season and eventually finished in second place behind Tolka Rovers. There have been more retirements as well, with Christine Kiley and Michelle Maguire hanging up their boots. This season things have been going well though, and they are challenging once again for the title. As always, the fortunes of Waterford United were never far from the news. In January, former Blue star Jimmy McGill returned to the city to assume control of the team. While the league title and promotion proved to be beyond them, there was plenty of cheer from the under-21 team, who took 2 titles and provided the club with its first silverware in some time.
When you hear the air attack warning, you and your family must take cover.